All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Not too sure where everyone is based, so just a big hello and welcome from your friends here at Hostfully, as well as our guest of honor. Today we have Christoph Salmon, who is the co-founder of Revyoos, but also Tony Harris, who's the founder with Alpine Lodging and long-term Hostfully and Revyoos user. We do have Tracy coming in the room back and forth, so oh, there she is. How are you, Tracy? So yes, again, thank you, gents, for joining and for Tracy to hanging out in the background. As I mentioned, we are going to be getting started in about a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for a few folks to trickle in. But while we do wait, but also to help us tailor today's session specifically to you attendees that have shown up, you're going to notice this questions tab at the bottom right of your screen. Please feel free to drop off any questions there throughout the next hour. Our team will be answering them behind the scenes as we go. You'll also see a quick few polls pop up during the webinar, similar to this one. We would love for you to participate in those. It's really helpful and a great way for us to just get to know you better, know your operations better, but also make the session more relevant to your specific needs. And then in the meantime, as my colleague Lola on the back end, we're just waiting for a few more folks to trickle in and join. So we're going to answer a poll. So how many listings do you currently manage? Let's take a look at how y'all are doing. So we have about 55% of the call is 0 to 4, 18% is 5 to 15, 30 plus is at 18%, and then we have 9% from 16 to 30. If you do have more than 30 listings, please feel free in the questions tab, let us know how many listings you have. Because if you have more than 30, anyone, even if you have one listing, you should be proud of yourself. But if you have 30, let us know. We would love to hear it. So thank you for taking the time to put in the poll. We do have a few more people coming in. So we'll give it about another minute or so we can maximize the amount of people, just because it's been about 2 minutes since. All right. All right. I can see a few people streaming in. So let's dive in and kick things off because Tony has a wealth of knowledge and he's going to share it with us. And Christoph has a bunch of slides that he wants to share with you. So for those of you that did just join, thank you so much for carving out the time in your day to be here. I'm Frank Bosey. I'm the Senior Director of Partner Development here at Hostfully. I've been here a little over 5 years and excited to be on this webinar with you. Today, we're joined by my colleague Lola, who's behind the scenes, and she will be helping answer any questions and just keeping things running smoothly throughout today's webinar. And of course, I am so excited to introduce our partnership with Revyoos. We have Christoph Salmon, who's the co-founder of Revyoos, as well as Ben and Tony Harris, who is the founder of Alpine Lodging and long-term Hostfully and Revyoos user. So looking forward to hearing about your experiences, gentlemen, and also share with our users and registrants today how they could supercharge their growth, specifically with Revyoos, because as we know, reviews are one of the most important topics in this industry. Just some housekeeping rules. If you just joined, you're going to see the questions tab on the bottom right of the screen. Feel free to drop any questions there anytime during the webinar. We will do our absolute best to answer them throughout the webinar, but also during our Q&A at the end, time permitting, of course. You'll also notice a few quick polls pop up as we go. As I mentioned earlier, these help us better understand who's joining and what to really focus on. So we'd really appreciate your participation there. And finally, we have fun little emoji reactions. So it's a little button on the bottom called React. Don't be shy with those emoji reactions. At Hostfully, as many of you know, we like to keep things fun and engaging. So have some fun and let us know that you're still with us. Before we jump into today's content, I do want to give you a quick introduction to Hostfully, especially for those of you who are new with us. So Hostfully is an all-in-one vacation rental property management platform. It helps you run your business from tip to tail, from start to finish. And our mission is simple. We help property managers and vacation rental companies boost revenue, streamline operations, and just deliver an amazing guest experience. We offer two powerful and fully integrated tools. We have the property management software as well as the digital guidebook. You can use them separately, of course, or together for even more of an impact. Just recently, however, we did launch something new. It's called our Hostfully devices. And that's our latest product, and it's built to take automation to the next level. And I'll share more about that in a little bit. So with our property management platform, Hostfully is an award-winning all-in-one solution ultimately built to simplify and streamline your vacation rental business and your operations overall. With our direct integrations, we have all major OTAs, Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com. We have Google Vacation Rentals, Marriott Homes and Villas, and you can manage everything in one central place, including your direct booking website. Some of the key features, we have AI-powered guest messaging, multi-unit portfolio management, unified calendar with built-in smart automation, and a whole bunch more to make your life easier. As I mentioned, Hostfully has been consistently recognized across the industry, ultimately for delivering powerful, intuitive tools that help property managers grow and scale with confidence. Now that's the property management platform. Next up is our guidebook platform. And with our guidebooks, we also offer a standalone digital guidebook platform. It's really easy, beautifully designed, and it really helps with leveling up your guest experience. So just with a few simple clicks, you can share things like check-in instructions, directions, house rules, Wi-Fi, your favorite local spots. And it's also a great way to boost your revenue. We have a partnership with Viator. So with the Viator integration, you can offer curated local experiences and also at the same time earn referral commissions. You can even upsell things like early check-in, mid-stay cleans, gear rentals. So not just focusing on the price of your listing and your phenomenal reviews, which you're going to get after this webinar, but it's really helpful in increasing your upsell revenue. We have instant language translation, AI-powered itinerary builder, full custom branding. It really helps give guests this polished, personalized experience, while at the same time you're cutting down on those repetitive questions and racking up those 5-star reviews. And if you haven't tried it yet, to everyone on this call, we've got you covered. Every account comes with one free guidebook, and there's a free trial on all plans as well. So that's the guidebook. Next up is our new and exciting Hostfully devices. And it's, as I mentioned, our newest addition. It's a smart, seamless way to really just automate your vacation rentals and create this unforgettable guest experience. We support over 200 smart devices, from locks, thermostats, garage doors, even hot tubs. You can manage everything remotely right from your Hostfully dashboard. So we're really excited for that. And what really sets us apart with this integration is it connects with your reservation calendar. So guests can access the device settings, update automatically, and there's no manual work required. And we partner with Slade, Yale, Honeywell, Ecobee, all those that are out there, just to ensure the smooth setup, but also that rock solid reliability that we all need as property managers. So ultimately, it's less work for you and a smoother, more elevated experience for your guests. Lastly, however, and I'll stop talking soon, with Hostfully, we offer a powerful platform, beautiful guidebooks, and now we have Hostfully devices. But we don't just stop there. Once you're signed up, we also provide a wealth of resources to help you grow. So we have industry reports, educational webinars, blog posts, case studies, expert articles, and I have my lawn guy that finally showed up after a few days, and he just started mowing. So if you do hear a mower in the back end, my apologies. I'm going to go on mute soon. But if you are curious to learn more about our products, feel free to reach out to me directly. It's frank@hostfully.com. You could also drop a note in the question tab, or Lola on the back end will share a link to my calendar directly if you want to book a demo. We're always happy to set something up if you like. But like I mentioned, let's get to why you're really here. We're really especially grateful to have Tony and Christoph with us today. They're going to share their proven ways on how guest reviews can really fuel some serious growth. So we're going to chat today about everything from increasing occupancy and direct bookings to also attracting new property owners while learning how top managers are using reviews to scale smarter, not only for the rest of this year, but the coming years as well. So feel free to take it from here, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Frank. So and thanks to the Hostfully team for the organization of this webinar. Actually, Hostfully was our very first partner when we launched 5 years ago, and also Tony was part of our very first beta users also when we launched. So he has good knowledge of our solution, and he also has a good knowledge about reviews. Tony, I know I checked that just before the webinar. He has an average star rating of 4.92 out of 5 on more than almost 1,500 reviews and 35 properties. So Tony, congrats with these results. And also I wanted to say congrats to all our attendees to invest some time today to be with us and to learn more about our industry. At the end, as property managers, none of us went to the vacation rental school, right? We all learn on the ground, making mistakes or doing our job day by day. So that's why it's so important for me to attend this kind of webinars to learn from others. And at the end, on my side, I'm in the industry since 2005. I started as a property owner, and what was initially a hobby became my passion, and I turned it into a business. And I launched a property management in 2016. I quit my comfortable but very boring job in a corporate company. And now we manage 45 units. And our solution, Revyoos.com, is born from a personal need I had. I wanted to see how we could get the most out of my reviews. And this is what we are going to see today. So what's in this presentation we're going to see. On one side, the power of guest reviews. We all know the importance of reviews in our industry, but let's see real numbers of the importance of reviews in hospitality. How to boost direct bookings. Direct booking is always a hot topic. We having some more independence from OTAs is always so important. So we are going to see some tips and tricks on how to do that with your reviews. The importance, why it's so important to respond every single review. How to leverage reviews to attract property owners, and maximize your reviews using AI. So let's go directly with the first part of the power of guest reviews in hospitality. Here we can see that positive reviews are part of the 3 top factors in terms of the factors that influence decision to book an accommodation. After location and value for money, here we have positive reviews as a third factor in both hotels and rentals. Also, we have this interesting study. It's already a few years, but it's still very interesting as we are speaking about OTAs. And Transparent did a very important study analyzing hundreds of thousands of listings, and they could see that the average occupancy for properties with 4.7 or more was 5 points higher than other properties. But really, the difference is not only on the average score, but depending on the number of reviews. If you only have a few reviews, it doesn't give us enough trust. So it's very important to get a good number of reviews. And here we can see with this same study that for properties with no reviews versus properties with over 20 reviews, the increase in occupancy is 90%. It's absolutely incredible the impact of reviews there. Same for Airbnb Superhost. What is the impact? So two impacts. On one side, the average daily rate, 8.2% higher, and also occupancy, 18.4% higher for Superhost. So we know that Superhost is not only talking about, we're not talking only about reviews, but it's in good part about that, with above 4.8. So with all these details, all this data, we can already see why reviews are so important in our business, and why it's so important to spend time on them and see how we can use them better in our business. And let's talk about the hot topic of direct bookings and how your reviews can play a role. So getting more direct booking is a hard job, and this study from Key Data shows us what is the evolution of direct bookings, and it's not evolving so well in the past years. Here, this is for US. The evolution since 2023 to 2025, from 25 to 23%, so a small drop. But for European guys, things are much harder. As you can see, a drop from 33% to only 23%, 10 points less in only 2 years. So we can see, yeah, definitely fighting against OTA is not easy. We can see in this case mainly Airbnb and Booking gained this, what the direct bookings lost in the past 2 years. But I still believe that there is something that can be done in direct booking, and if we have a real direct booking strategy, it's still possible to grow. And there are obviously several different areas and actions we have to do. But let's focus on what we can do with the reviews. So the direct booking.
Sorry, Christoph, real quick,
Yeah.
we did have a question coming in from Emily. She's a Hostfully user. She's with Delighted Properties, and hopefully Emily is delighted with Hostfully. She has the guidebooks, the devices, as well as the property management software. So good looking out, Emily. She had a quick question. She was wondering the benchmarks that you shared and those stats for ratings and like the number of reviews, do they hold for other OTAs as well, like Vrbo, Booking.com, and all the others?
Which stats are we talking about?
This one. Yep.
This one. It was done, I think, on Vrbo and mainly on Vrbo and Airbnb.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Frank, sorry, Christoph. We speak to our Vrbo and Airbnb support managers all the time, and basically that's the number. The magic number is that if you don't have 20 reviews on each of your properties, then you're way down on that priority list. So once you've got 20 good reviews, then the algorithm is in your favor for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for talking about that, Tony. So yeah, we are watching the direct booking formula. So basically, where we can act is on two pillars: traffic and conversion rate. So let's see how your reviews can have an impact on to get more traffic. One technical word related to reviews is are the rich snippets. So if you're not familiar with the rich snippets, is the average star rating that appear on Google when you make some searches. And several studies show how displaying this review score on Google have an impact on the click-through rate on Google. And from this company, Bright Local, that every year make a very strong study on the reviews, they could see that the impact is different, obviously depending on the average star rating. But for between 4 and 5 star rating, 16 to 19% increase in click-through rate, thanks to displaying your rich snippets. This is really directly related to your reviews. To display your rich snippet, you can some PMSs or some websites do it. and if not, you can use our solution that will help you to display your rich snippets. Additionally to SEO, there are more details where reviews have an impact. For example, the keyword density. Search engine generally love fresh content, and one of the problem we have in our industry is the fact that we have static pages. Obviously, our properties are as they are with the content we built initially, and we don't update very often the content, sometimes the pictures, sometimes an additional feature, and so on. But they are, generally speaking, very static pages, and this is where reviews have a very strong impact in adding new fresh content. Every time you have a new review and you use a widget to display this review, it will add fresh new content to your website, to your properties, and it will increase your ranking and your SEO for these keywords. And additional technical terms, I'm not going to get too much into details in it. The dwell time and bounce rate. Basically, it's the more content and user-generated content you have that will make the user spend more time on your website. It will also help your SEO. Let's go on with traffic. Also, still talking about traffic. If you're not familiar with the billboard effect, here we have the definition. So the billboard effect happens when listing a property on sites like Airbnb and Booking leads to more direct bookings. And this slide is very interesting, as we can see that according to this Automizer, 65% of all direct bookings come from guests who found us in an OTA. So this is why it's so important at the end that when you make a copy paste of the title of your property in an OTA, then you find directly your direct website. So initially, the billboard effect do not have anything to do with reviews, but let's say there is a second billboard effect, which is the ability to find yourself when you search your property management name plus reviews, or your property name plus reviews, because this is also how potential guests are going to search you after they found you on an OTA. They want to see the reviews, so it's very important to make this work first, to see if you appear, and if you don't appear, we will show you some tips on how to do that. And just to show you the importance of being on top for these searches, here you can see. So when you make a search on Google, you type a first word, and Google will give you the most common searches and the most related searches and most searched keywords related to the first word you search. So I did the test with some top property managers, and you can see all these cases reviews appear. So it really shows that this is very, very common searches. Property management name plus reviews. It's very, very important that you appear on the first results for these searches, and it's pretty easy to do it. Here you have the summary of the main tips to do. First, to create a specific URL slide with your property, your domain name / reviews. Optimize the meta title and description. Optimize the H1, which is the main title, and then add some content. Include the keyword reviews and your property management company in several part of the content, and obviously adding a review widget that will add all your reviews plus the rich snippet will definitely be the final help to make you appear in the first results. But definitely, unless if you have, let's say, a very common name like property management company, property manager New York. I mean, something that is not specific, it will be difficult to raise. But if you have a very different name like Alpine Lodging or any other specific name, it will be very easy to appear in the first results. So we were talking about the direct booking formula. On one side, more traffic, and on the other side, better conversion. We are going to see what your reviews can do with conversion. and why it's so important to display your third-party reviews. And here maybe Tony can give us some information about that. But before just wanted to show you why it's so important, why your direct reviews are not enough, basically because all the reviews don't have the same value, and your own direct reviews do not have the same value as verified reviews from OTAs. If your direct reviews are mixed with other OTAs, and we can see there is a coherence in the rating between OTAs and your direct reviews, in this case, all the reviews gain a lot of trust and will give much more confidence for more conversion. And also in marketing, it's known that people give more authority to ideas that are stated by a number of sources. And also 70% of consumers will look at multiple business review sites when choosing a business. So if by yourself you are displaying all your reviews from different OTAs on your website, you will avoid them to potentially leave your website and search for your properties and end up at the end on an OTA. Maybe Tony, you want to jump here to tell your experience?
Yeah, sure. I think it's important for two reasons. To, we have the widget on our main website. That gives the guest coming directly to us the confidence that we're a professional company, and they can click on the widget, expand it and look at 1,500 reviews, if they so wish. But because those reviews are coming from like Vrbo, Airbnb, we don't use booking.com, but if you're a hotel or whatever, then it does give them confidence. And the second part of that is we've just been lucky enough to been handed, or well, it's not really doing ourselves justice really, but a competitor of ours in Kimberley has just closed their doors and had a number of short-term rental units. They gave notice to their owners, and their owners then were looking for a rental manager very quickly. This was like 4 weeks ago, and so we've had lots of potential clients, owners, calling us and saying, "Hey, we looked on your website. Your reviews are amazing. This is exactly what we want. We want, a 5-star rating for cleanliness. We want, good guest communication." And also our owners, we asked, be careful what you ask for, or what you wish for, but, we also asked our owners, and we're going to put out another request for that because we've added owners, but we asked our owners, what do you think of us? So our already clients are saying, they're great at communicating, it's easy onboarding, the financials are, crystal clear and, and transparent. So I think having all that in one place on the site is an absolute game changer.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Tony. And going on the direct, on the more direct bookings, I wanted to share some best practice we can get from OTAs, because OTAs themselves are using third-party reviews. In this case, we are talking about the Vrbo Fast Start, where what they did to onboard new properties that had no reviews because they were new in Vrbo, but had some reviews on Airbnb. They put a review badge on this property, saying, "Hey, this property is new on Vrbo, but has 50 verified reviews on other verified OTAs." And the difference between properties with no badge and with this badge was 25% increase in booking, 50% increase in booked nights, and 140% increase in gross booking value. So Vrbo was the first big OTA that did this, that used these third-party reviews on their portal, and then Booking.com did the same, and they're also displaying third-party reviews. So definitely, we know that OTAs do test many things on their portal. Mainly Booking is making many A/B testings, and when they keep something, it's definitely because it works. So third-party review, generally speaking, and third-party reviews, when we are talking about verified reviews, are so strong to give more trust and more confidence. So if OTAs are doing it, let's copy that and do it yourself on your own website. So let's move on to another topic: the importance of responding to every review. This is a mistake I did myself during a lot of time, where I just used to respond only bad reviews. But we are going to see why it's so important to respond every single review, good, bad, and neutral reviews. In this Bright Local, we saw them earlier, and I mentioned the very strong study they do on reviews, not on our industry, it's generic, but very strong detailed analysis of reviews. And what they could see there is what is the intention of a consumer to visit and to use a business, depending on how they respond to reviews. And strong difference: 88% for those responding absolutely all the reviews, and only 47% for those that do not respond the reviews. Another interesting thing is that responding to reviews also has an impact on SEO. And Google, this paragraph comes from Google themselves, and they say that responding to reviews can improve your business visibility. So if Google also recommend responding to the reviews, let's do it, as it can increase our ranking. But not only on Google, it can also boost conversion on OTAs. And once again, from Optimizer, they did also a survey, or not survey, but an analysis of many listings around that, and they could see the conclusion they got is responding to all reviews can boost conversion by 12.6% on OTAs. So yeah, this is a very important tip to keep in mind. So how to leverage reviews to attract property owners? Tony just mentioned earlier about that, how they succeed to attract new owners thanks to their reviews. And the thing is, as a property manager, we have two customers, the guests, but also our owners, and we generally only think in our guests to request reviews. And I think it's important also to request reviews to our owners. It's important because on one side it's a proof of attention. It's also an internal feedback, and you can use it as a net promoter score to see how you are performing, not only on the guest part, but also with your owners, and see what you can improve with your owners. And publishing also your owner reviews in the acquisition landing page, where you present your services as a property owner, as a property manager, will also boost the conversion and attracting new owners. On one side, displaying a widget with your guest reviews, it will show your owners how you are performing as a property manager, and on the other side, another review widget from your property owners, and also showing how you are performing with your property, with your owners. Let's talk about AI and how to maximize your reviews and to boost your business with them. So I suppose many of you just have the poll here. Yeah, if you are not using AI to respond to your reviews, we definitely invite you to do that. It will make you gain a lot of time. It's also important not to leave 100% to AI the response, especially when the review are bad. Let's make it personalized. But for good reviews, it's possible to leave it really in autopilot. And also from Bright Local, there was a specific survey on that, and asking which responses do you prefer, in respect to one manual and others made by AI, and the AI responses had a better, the customer liked more the generated review by AI than the human one. So don't be afraid of using AI for responses. Another interesting tool is the AI sentiment analysis. So thanks to AI, this is one of the features we launched a few months ago that allows you to analyze the content itself of the reviews, and this is very interesting because at the end, it's not only talking. I mean, when we want to see what we can improve, it's not only checking the bad reviews that we can know. Sometimes we get also good reviews, but with some comments that would need to be taken into account to improve our business. And with AI sentiment analysis, definitely you have a quick summary of what you can do better globally as a property manager, and then also for every single property. Tony, maybe you can share your experience also on that. What would you say about using AI in your business and using the AI analysis of your reviews?
Yeah, sure. We do look at it all the time, and you should have used our screenshot. It's better than this one. But you know, we do reply to every single review, and I think this gives us a good snapshot as well, to say, you know, are we living up to, you know, what we say we're going to deliver. You know, we are promising a 5-star experience to the guest and to our owners, and so, you know, and we do get, you know, it's personal if it doesn't quite go well, but you know, but there's a way to, you know, rebound from that. So it is really nice to be able to see this in, you know, in a good easy graphical picture to see, especially for me, because I'm not dealing with the reviews every day. Our rental manager Leah deals with that mostly, but it is good for me to pop it up and go, oh yeah, like we're just, you know, and send a quick email, team, we're crushing it, right? It looks great. And I think the ease of using this as well is, you know, like when we had maybe 1 or 2 properties or 3 properties, it was easy to like just go onto the OTAs or just reply to an email every single time it came in, you know, just to say, you know, reply to the guest. But you know, now we have potentially by the end of this month 34 properties. It's then a bigger task, and then that task is like a weekly task to bring up reviews, bring up Google Business, bring up the OTAs, and then respond in reviews, because it gives you a great response. And if you don't like it, you can just tweak it, or you can ask to regenerate it, and then it's just a click on it and it copies it and you just drop it in there. And it's so much easier just to keep up with it, instead of just going, oh, like, you know, we're 6 months behind our reviews. So I like the AI bit. We use it on a weekly basis.
Yeah, definitely. It makes win a lot of time. I mean, if you just manage a few reviews, a few properties, it will be generally easy to handle and to manage and to know what you can improve in your reviews, in your property. Sorry, but when you start to manage dozens of properties, this is where it starts to be more complicated, and where AI really does the job and help you to see directly, visually, what the negative content you have in every review, and also to have this summary per property of what is good, what is bad. Here we have it for as a property manager as a whole, but you also have it for every property. And it's also a good tool to, when you see your owners, to see, hey, this is the summary of what we got this year or the last quarter, and to show your owners what would need to be improved in their property. And to finish, I wanted to share with you what we call the review flywheel to supercharge your vacation rental success, and what is the where your reviews and what is the impact of your reviews in each part of this flywheel. So the very first step is to collect at the top to collect your guest reviews, to aggregate all your reviews in one single place. Then, thanks to AI sentiment analytics, you will be able to see what you can improve operationally for each property, or also globally as a property manager. All these improvements will make a happier guest, and they will have better experiences. We saw earlier how reviews have an impact on SEO, and the better reviews you get, the better rich snippets you will get, and the stronger SEO impact you will get with all the improvements you will have put in place. The more traffic and more direct bookings and more conversion you are going to get, more direct bookings, more reviews, and then the will go on. So this is how it works, and really here we have the summary of what I believe is the impact you can get if you start to spend a bit of attention to your reviews and put in place some of the tips we saw in this presentation. Tony, anything else to add?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, and I've said it really is one piece of our tech stack that we change. I think also about we do rely still on the OTAs for that initial booking for a lot of the time, but I think we put into place systems that if that guest goes back to the OTA to book again, we've not done our job. We definitely want to, I don't know whether this steal is the right word, but we want to steal that guest, and that guest wants to be ours forever. It's the lifetime of that guest. We live in a small ski town in southeast BC in Kimberley. It's a 4-season resort, and it's very family orientated, and people come back year after year after year, and we don't want them to go back onto Vrbo, or we don't want them to go back onto Airbnb. We want them to come to us direct. And I think the other thing is, once what we found is when we're using reviews with AI, it does give that personal feel to it. Because it looks at the review, it analyzes every little piece of that review and comments on every piece of that review. But it also allows you to say, hey, we're glad that your full trip to Kimberley was amazing. You had a great time and you want to come back. Did you notice how close you were to the main ski lift? You should start thinking about booking your winter trip right now before we get booked up. So there's an opportunity there to get in there and sell that winter booking straight away. So yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities by us using reviews, and it keeps us on track. And I think that's a great idea. When I've noticed that and I haven't implemented it, but I just made some notes. I'm kind of, it's a forever learning process. I think I will take those unit comments, the summary of the unit comments. Yes, we deal with a lot of that. The mattress is too hard, it's too soft, or whatever. We like the wine you left us, but we prefer white, or whatever it is. But some of those comments on the unit, I think it is a good thing to send to the owner and say, hey, your unit did great this year, but these are the things that we think you should think about improving. So next time when that guest comes, or we can just go back to that guest and say, hey, which we do, and you say, whatever it was, the small things that wasn't quite right or whatever, it's like, okay, we've actioned that. The owners agreed to do that. So they know then if they come back to that unit, they're not going to have that, they're going to have even a better time than they did last time because we've used that information.
Yeah, and Tony, I love what you did with like the FYI, did you realize how close you are to the ski lift to get more bookings and for them to book while they're staying with you for their next stay? In regard to guests actually leaving reviews, because we all know that could sometimes be an issue in and of itself. Are there any practical ways that you or Tracy, or even like you, Ben and Christoph, that you've seen just in an effort to actually get the guest to leave the review? I know one way that I've experienced this was when I travel and I'm staying at a short-term rental and a guest asks for a review, I review them as well. As a property manager, I review the guest, which prompts them or kind of gives them this like guilt to review back. So like that's one tip or trick that you can use is like review the guest right upon departure. This way you increase the chances of them to give you a review as well. But are there any practical ways that you've experienced to actually get the guest to leave the review, even if it's, especially using tools like Hostfully or Revyoos, that makes that process easier or even more automated?
Sure. Yeah, we've got a few tips and tricks that we use, and we didn't make them up. We stole them from other people. We used to have a website from Boostly, and I think you probably know the Boostly team, but he wrote some books and stuff, and listen to their podcasts and stuff. So one of the things we do is we have book direct cards in our unit. We have a book direct tab on all of our guidebooks, on our online guidebooks, so they know that they can book direct. We have a QR code, with in a nice frame in the unit for repeat guests saying, why book with Airbnb and VRBO and pay 14% booking fee? If you want to save some money, book direct, and QR code straight to our site. And to grab those reviews, we have a QR code in the unit for Google reviews, which is more about the company, it's about us. And then we're using another tech stack is Breezeway we use for maintenance inspections and communication, Breezeway messaging. But we send out a text message at checkout on the day that they're leaving. So whoever's sat in the passenger seat with nothing to do because they're driving 4 hours back to Calgary or whatever, can then click on the link and give us a quick Google review, because we want to bring up our Google reviews. And we only started that, like, I don't know, probably six to 8 months ago. Before that, we were just sending emails out. We didn't get much response. So a text message is normally, the person sat in that passenger seat is, like just scrolling on Facebook or whatever. So let's give them something positive. And and they're feeling like they had a great a great vacation or a great couple of days away, short breakaway with us. So that's another way that we can get those. But whether it's a third-party software like Breezeway or just using Hostfully triggers and templates, we send out an automatic Breezeway request for a review, and we don't mind sending out a couple, because most people don't mind sending us a review on the OTAs. We still want the reviews on the OTAs to boost that the points will put you up the ladder, especially once you get more than 20 reviews on each of the platforms. So that's the kind of way we're getting reviews, and and we still go on and review the guest as soon as we know. Sometimes I'm reluctant, and we started to do this, but now I'm reluctant to do that until we see the property. Once our housekeepers go in, we use Breezeway for our housekeeping, so that when they go into housekeep, they can say how dirty it is or if there's anything broken or whatever. And we see that straight away because it comes back into our dashboard. So we typically don't review the guest until we see the property, just to make sure that, I think it's a good idea to send them it to guilt them into, reviewing you. But to start with, we were bitten a few times by, not paying attention and saying, well, we didn't hear any problems, so we just reviewed them and give them 5 stars. But, the few people that weren't 5-star guests is like, okay, we need to check the unit. But it's, as soon as that's been checked, then we're on it. So, the day that it's cleaned, that guest will get a review, to guilt them into sending us a review, right?
Awesome. Yeah, and I think the big question, and I believe Carolyn asked it, and Pam, and maybe Ruth, it's for those reviews that you haven't responded to or used, like for property managers who haven't really paid much attention to the guest reviews until now. Yes, we highly recommend reaching out to them, but it's really, what's like the first step that you'd recommend to start getting value from those previous reviews, and how far back should you go?
Is that a Tony question or a Christoph question?
Rock, paper, scissors, whoever wants to answer it.
I think you might be limited on Verbo. I think you're limited to like 14 days or something. I don't think once that window is, I think you've missed the boat, which is fine. But I've been quite poor at replying to our pure Google business reviews. But there's no timeline on that. We're playing catch up right now. So I think just going forward, I think Airbnb has a time limit too, but I think going forward is just, I think it is important to review every guest, not just, if you get a poor review, then you need to be diplomatic or just, people are different. Every guest is different, right? So, one will love the place and one will think that, I don't know, like the fridge is too loud or the view's not, you got 50 miles of the Rocky Mountains, but when they came, there wasn't any snow on it or something. I don't know, whatever it is. But I think I think it is that opportunity to, give value to that guest and the opportunity to get them to come to your place again, and that's what we try and do with our units, especially in prime time, which is Christmas, New Year, AB Family Week. And people love booking their Sullivan Stone, 3-bedroom or Timberstone 3-bedroom because it's, ski to the door, private hot tub on deck. And it's not the fear of missing out, but literally if they're not booked by May, they're not coming in for Christmas. It's fully booked, right? So it's an email out to these people to say, hey, or on the reviews, it's like, you loved it that much, book it for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And even with the reviews and kind of how you use them is really important, or even guiding the guest to where you want them to leave a review is simple. Like Airbnb is automated. It gets on Airbnb, it goes on Airbnb. With direct bookings, you want it on your direct booking site. You obviously want to leverage your software like Revyoos to show it onto your direct booking site. But even just including links to where you want those reviews to the guests that will leave good reviews is super helpful. Just literally serving it on a silver platter. We do have a lot of questions coming in. Good job, guys. For Audrey Brown, I heard that Airbnb is banning hosts that post their QR codes about their direct booking sites. We don't have much time to talk about it today, Audrey, but we do have webinars in November and December and forward-looking about direct bookings, and I'm sure that conversation will come up. So for everyone that has questions about direct bookings, just follow Hostfully. Sign up for our email list. You'll get all the webinars that are coming up specifically to direct bookings. Again, Audrey Brown with the question is, do you manage parent-child relationships? Assuming that's for Tony, asking if personally he manages parent-child or if Hostfully offers that feature. I can answer on behalf of Hostfully is yes, we have that feature. And I believe Tony does parent-child. But in specifics, again, if you have any questions, Audrey, you can email us directly. But in terms of reviews, with 5 minutes left, in regard to kind of just what we spoke about, is there anything else that you want to touch on, Ben or Christoph or Tony, specifically on either reviews? Because I know you had a bunch of new features and capabilities come out. If that's an opportunity you want to chat about, or even just tips and tricks that could help the attendees today just really leverage your software to get better reviews and to increase those.
Yeah, just one tip I was thinking when you spoke about where to leave a review and so on. One small trick to get a double impact with your reviews is to, when you get a good review on one OTA, to ask the guest to leave this exact same review on your Google My Business account. So and just what we do, it's manual work, but we just copy paste the information, put the link on the Google My Business. So really, in one click on WhatsApp, they can publish this review. So you at the end you will have three impacts: one impact on OTA, one impact on Google My Business, and if you use our solution, we will automatically collect the reviews and publish all these reviews on your website. So you will get three impacts thanks to this small trick. So I invite you to do that, because it's a good way at the end to boost your Google My Business profile. Yeah, and in terms of what you mentioned about the new features, yeah, the biggest one we launched is the sentiment analytics. We are still working on it to improve and get more reports and get more analysis of all your reviews. Another good one, we are working on it and we are going to launch it in the coming weeks, is a Chrome extension to directly respond the reviews on the OTAs. For now, it's a manual work. Also, you generate with AI the response on our platform, and you have to copy paste. With this Chrome extension, you will be able to generate directly the response on the OTA and to publish it directly on the OTA. So it will be a great. You will gain a lot of time also in the review responses. We're also developing SEO features to boost we have a feature called the SEO pages to also help you when you search your company name plus reviews to appear on top and give you additional links that will help your website to be on top. So yeah, anyway, we invite you also to book a demo with Ben if you want to learn a bit more, and we'll give you additional tricks on how to get the most out get the most out of your reviews.
I know. I think we should have had this webinar to be an hour and a half. There's just so much information to cover, especially just with both softwares and Tony and Tracy's experience. This was an awesome session. It's an incredible session. So there's been so many valuable takeaways, actionable insights that people can start using once the webinar ends. So again, just wanted to give a huge thank you to both Christoph and Ben with reviews. Tony, Tracy in the background, we didn't forget about you. Just for your partnership, your loyalty with both Revyoos and Hostfully, and also just for generously sharing your expertise. We truly appreciate your time and your thoughtful contributions to today's discussion. So everyone tuning in, I got a few messages. Don't worry if your brain's kind of still processing all of this information. We've got you covered. At the end of today's webinar, we're going to be sending out a follow-up email with a link to the recording so you can revisit anything that you missed. You'll also be directed to the Hostfully reviews page. So if you have any questions, all of that stuff is there. schedule a demo with Ben. He has all the answers for you with reviews. Schedule a demo with me, Frank, if you have any questions about Hostfully. Again, and just as a special thank you for attending.